Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hari Om. Text 35. Rupam tavaitannanu dushkrutatmanam durdarshanam deva yadadvaratmakam chandansi yasya tvachibarhiroma swajyam drushitvam grishu chaturhotram.
O Lord, your form is worshipable by performances of sacrifice, but souls who are simply miscreants are unable to see it. All the Vedic hymns, Gayatri, and others are in the touch of your skin. In your bodily hairs is the kusha grass, in your eyes is the clarified butter, and in your forelegs are the 4 kinds of fruitive activities.
स्रक्तुण्ड आसीत् सुव ईशनासयो रीडोदरे चमसा कर्णरन्ध्रे प्राशित्रमास्ये ग्रसने ग्रहास्तु ते यच्चर्वणं ते भगवन्नग्निहोत्रम्.
O Lord, your tongue is a plate of sacrifice. Your nostril is another plate of sacrifice. In your belly is the eating plate of sacrifice, and another plate of sacrifice is the holes of your ears. In your mouth is a Brahma plate of sacrifice. Your throat is a plate of sacrifice known as Soma, and whatever you chew is known as Agnihotra.
दीक्षानुजन्मोपसदः शिरोदरम् त्वं प्रायणीयोदयनीयदंष्ट्रः जिह्वा प्रवर्ग्यस्तव शीर्षकं क्रतोः सत्यावसत्यं चितयो समोहिते.
Moreover, O Lord, the repetition of your appearance is the desire for all kinds of initiation. Your neck is the place for 3 desires, and your tusks are the result of initiation, and the end of all desires. Your tongue is the prior activities of initiation. Your head is the fire without sacrifice, as well as the fire of worship, and your living forces are the aggregate of all desires.
सोमस्तुरेतः सवनान्यवस्थितिः संस्थाविभेदास्तव देवदातवः सत्राणि सर्वाणि शरीरसन्धि स्वं सर्वयज्ञक्रतुरिष्टिबन्धनः.
O Lord, your semen is a sacrifice called Soma Yagya. Your growth is the ritualistic performances of the morning. Your skin and touch sensations are the 7 elements of the Agnistoma sacrifice. Your bodily joints are symbols of various other sacrifices performed in 12 days. Therefore, you are the object of all sacrifices called Soma and Asoma, and you are bound by yagyas only.
नमो नमस्ते किल मन्त्रदेवता द्रव्याय सर्वक्रतवे क्रियात्मने वैराग्यभक्त्यात्मजयानुभाविता ज्ञानाय विद्या गुरुवे नमो नमः.
O Lord, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and are worshipable by universal prayers, Vedic hymns, and sacrificial ingredients. We offer our obeisances unto you. You can be realized by the pure mind, freed from all visible and invisible material contamination. We offer our respectful obeisances to you as the Supreme Spiritual Master of Knowledge in devotional service.
दंष्ट्राग्रकोट्या भगवन्स्त्वया धृता विराजते भूधरभूसभूधरा यथा वनान्निः सरतो दतादृता मतङ्गजेन्द्रस्य सपत्रपद्मिनी.
O lifter of the earth with its mountains, which you have lifted with your tusks, is situated as beautifully as a lotus flower, with leaves sustained by an infuriated elephant just coming out of the water.
त्रयीमयं रूपमिदं च सौकरम् भूमण्डलेनातदतादृतेन ते चकास्ति शृङ्गोडघनेन भूयसा कुलाचलेन्द्रस्य यतैव विभ्रमः.
O Lord, as the peaks of great mountains become beautiful when decorated with clouds, your transcendental body has become beautiful because of your lifting the earth on the edge of your tusks.
संस्थापयैनां जगतां सतस्तुषां लोकाय पत्नीमसि मातरं पितां विधेम चास्यै नमसा सहस्वत्वया यस्यां त्वजे स्वतेजोऽग्निमिवारणावदाः.
O Lord, for the residential purposes of all inhabitants, both moving and non-moving, this earth is your wife, and you are the Supreme Father. We offer our respectful obeisances unto you, along with Mother Earth, in whom you have invested your own potency, just as an expert sacrificer puts fire in the Arani wood.
कश्रद्धदीतान्यतमस्तव प्रभो रसां गताया भुव उद्दिबर्हणं स विस्मयोऽसौ त्वयि विश्वविस्मये यो माययेदं ससृजेति विस्मयम्.
Who else but you, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, could deliver the earth from within the water? It is not very wonderful for you. However, because you acted most wonderfully in the creation of the universe, by your energy, you have created this wonderful cosmic manifestation.
विदुन्वता वेदमयं निजं जनस्तपः सत्यनिवासिनो वयं सटाशिकोद्धूतशिवाम्बुबिन्दुभिर्विमृज्यमाना भृशमीशपाविताः.
O Supreme Lord, undoubtedly we are inhabitants of the most pious planets, the Jana and Satyalokas, but still we have been purified by the drops of water sprinkled from your shoulder hairs, by the shaking of your body.
स वै बत भ्रष्टमतिस्तवैषते यः कर्मणां पारमपारकर्मणः यद्योगमाया गुणयोगमोहितं विश्वं समस्तं भगवन् विदेहिशम्.
O Lord, there is no limit to your wonderful activities. Anyone who desires to know the limit of your activities is certainly nonsensical. Everyone in this world is conditioned by the powerful mystic potencies. Please bestow your causeless mercy upon these conditioned souls.
मैत्रेय उवाच इत्युपस्थीयमानोऽसौ मुनिभिर्ब्रह्मवादिभिः सलिले स्वकुरराक्रान्ता उपादत्तावितावनिम्.
The sage Maitreya said, "The Lord, being thus worshipped by all the great sages and transcendentalists, touched the earth with his hooves and placed it on the water."
स इत्थं भगवानुर्वीं विश्वक्सेनः प्रजापतिः रसाया लीलयोन्नीताम् अप्सुन्यस्य ययौ हरिः.
In this manner, the personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, the maintainer of all living entities, raised the earth from within the water, and having placed it afloat on the water, he returned to his own abode.
य एवमेतां हरिमेधसो हरे कथां सुभद्रां कथनीयमायिनः शृण्वीत भक्त्या श्रवयेत मोषतीं जनार्दनोऽस्याशु हृदि प्रसीदति.
If one hears and describes in a devotional service attitude this auspicious narration of Lord Boa, which is worthy of description, the Lord, who is within the heart of everyone, is very pleased.
तस्मिन् प्रसन्ने सकलाशिषां प्रभौ किं दुर्लभं ताभिरलं लवात्मभिः अनन्यदृष्ट्या भजतां गुहाशयः स्वयं विदत्ते स्वगतिं परः पराम्.
Nothing remains unachieved when the Supreme Personality of Godhead is pleased with someone. By transcendental achievement, one understands everything else to be insignificant. One who engages in transcendental loving service is elevated to the highest perfectional stage by the Lord Himself, who is seated in everyone's heart.
को नाम लोके पुरुषार्थ सारवेत् पुरा कथानां भगवत्कृता सुधाम् अपीयकर्णाञ्जलिभिर्भवापहा महो विरज्येत विना परेतरम्. हरे कृष्ण.
Who, other than one who is not a human being, can exist in this world and not be interested in the ultimate goal of life? Who can refuse the nectar of narrations about the personality of Godhead's activities, which by itself can deliver one from all material pangs? Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Geeta Mataji and Avani Mataji. So beautiful recitations. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, shall I leave the verses on the screen or shall I make you the co-host?
I shall share the screen, Mataji, if you make me co-host.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So thank you so much, dear devotee, for kindly joining this evening to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, before we start Srimad Bhagavatam, we shall offer our Mangalacharan prayers to Gurus, Vaishnavas, and Krishna, Radharani. Okay, so Om अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांशं श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांशम्। हे कृष्ण करुणसिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तु ते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौरङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिविकासस्वामिन् इति नामिने नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन् इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वतीदेवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्द हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे हरे ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् शृणुतां स्वकथाः कृष्णः पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनः हृद्यन्तस्त्वह्य भद्राणि विधुनोति सुहृसतां नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवति उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकीम् इदं भागवतं नाम पुराणं ब्रह्मसंहितम् उत्तमश्लोकचरितं चकार भगवान् ऋषिः निःश्रेयसाय लोकस्य धन्यं स्वस्तये नमः कृष्णे सुरामोपगते धर्मज्ञानादिभिः सह खलु न शुश्रूषामेष पुरा नर्को अधुनोदितः कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः नमः पङ्कजनाभाय नमः पङ्कजमालिने नमः पङ्कजनेत्राय नमस्ते पङ्कजाङ्ग्रये अथ विश्वेश विश्वात्मन् विश्वमूर्ते स्वकेषु मे स्नेहपाशम् इमं चिन्तिदृढं पाण्डिषु विष्णुषु त्वयि मेनन्य विषया मतिर्मदपते सकृत् रतिमुद्वाह तदद्धः गङ्गेवभूदन्वती श्रीकृष्ण कृष्ण सख विष्णुर्षभावनिधृराजन्यवंशदहनानपवर्गवीर्य गोविन्द गोद्विजसुराट्यहरावतार योगेश्वर किल गुरो भगवन्नमस्ते योगेश्वर किल गुरो भगवन्नमस्ते योगेश्वर किल गुरो भगवन्नमस्ते त्वलयामलवेनापि न स्वर्गं न पुनर्भवं भगवत्सङ्गीसङ्गस्य मत्यानां किमुतशशः पुनश्च भूयात् भगवत्यनन्ते रतिः प्रसङ्गश तदाश्रयेषु महस्तु याम्यामुपयां सृष्टिं मैत्रस्य सर्वत्र नमोद्विजेभ्यः नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनामिने गौरत्विषे नमः मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीगुरुं देनतारिणं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यमीश्वरं श्रीचैतन्यप्रभुं वन्दे बालोऽपि यदनुग्रहात् तरेनानमतग्राह व्याप्तं सिद्धान्तसागरं श्रीचैतन्यप्रभु वन्दे यत्पादाश्रीविरितः सङ्गृह्णाति आकरव्रातात् अज्ञ सिद्धान्तसन्मनि ॐ नमो भगवते राधा गोविन्दाय नमः हरे कृष्ण Okay, thank you so much for kindly waiting. I share my screen. Okay. Okay, so today in the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is the beautiful pastime of appearance of Lord Varahadeva in a summary. So far we have been discussing in a slokas, a couple of slokas in each day. But today we are going to see as overall summary. We go through this like reciting and then translations in such a way. We will cover all the summary again. It's with this reciting and then translations. Not full translations, so just go with a summary, one line of statements like that, where stressing where it is required. Okay, so this Srimad Bhagavatam. So here Sukadeva Goswami is describing to Parikshit Maharaj about the conversations between Vidura and Maitreya Rishi. So Sukadeva Goswami, so he was mentioning, so previously he was mentioning about the Swayambhu Manu lineage. So that he was inquiring more about Swayambhu Manu, what he has done after accepting his wife from Lord Brahma. So Brahma has created Swayambhu Manu and Sadarupa. What did they do? So Sukadeva Goswami is mentioning Nishimya Vacham Vadato Munehi Punyataman Rupa Bhuyaha Papracha Kauravya Vasudeva Katadritaha. So here Sukadeva Goswami mentioning about the Vidura. So Nisimya Vacham Vadato Munehi Punyatamam Rupa Bhuyaha Papracha Kauravya Vasudeva Katadritaha. Vidura is so much attached to Vasudeva Kata. Vasudeva Kata Adritaha. So Adritaha, it is given like one who adores so much of Krishna Kata. So previously he was mentioning about, he was lamenting about the people who are not hearing a Krishna Kata. तान् सोच्य सोच्चान् विधोनु सोचे हरेः कथायं विमुखानखेन क्षिणोति देवो निमिषस्तो येषाम् आयुर्दावादि गति स्मृतीनां. People unnecessarily they're wasting all of their time spending in the materialistic activities. So तान् सोच्य सोच्चान् विधोनु सोचे. So likewise, Vidura is such a great personality. So Sukadeva Goswami is mentioning that Vidura who adores Krishna Katha so much. So now he is inquiring more from Maitreya Rishi to speak about. So what he is asking. So Vidura Vidura Bhuvacha Savai Swayambhuvah Samrat Priyaha Putraha Swayambhuvaham Pratilabhya Priyam Patnim Kim Chakara Tato Muni. Vidura is inquiring Maitreya Rishi. O Rishi. So after Swayambhu Manu accepted his wife Swetarupa, and then what he has done, Pratilabhya Priyam Patnim Kim Chakara Tato Muni, what he did do. So thereafter, so likewise, Swayambhu Manu Samrat Priyaha Putraha Swayambhuvaha. He is the dearest son of Lord Brahma. He is the Priyaha Putraha Swayambhuvaha. When it will become Priyaha Putraha, whenever the son is following the instructions of the father, then he will be Priyaha Putraha. If son is not listening, in another part of Bhagavatam it is mentioned, he is like a stool of a father. If he is not taking instructions of his father, it is stool. So that is very strong statements have been mentioned. So here Vidura is inquiring about glorifying Swayambhu Manus and his qualities. What he has done, Kim Chakara Tato Muni, O Maitreya Rishi. So Charitam Tasya Rajasyehi Adi Rajasya Sattama Bruhi Me Shraddhadanaya Visvaksena Ashrayohi Aso. So here he is the Swayambhu Manu is the Adi Rajasya. Charitam Tasya Rajasyehi. So his pastimes are very wonderful. Adi Rajasya Sattama. He is asking Satyama, O Maitreya Rishi, O Satyama, mentioning like Pratilabhyapriyam. Okay, this is the next shloka. Satyama, O most pious one, Bruhime Shraddhadanaya, can you please describe the pastimes of Swayambhu Manu? Bruhime Shraddhadanaya, I am very much interested, eager to receive the knowledge of about Swayambhu Manu. Here to hearing about Swayambhu Manu, because why he is so much interested? Visvaksena Ashriyohi Aso. And here Swayambhu Manu is the great devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Visvaksena Ashriyoho, one who has taken shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that's why please describe more about the Swayambhu Manu. So after hearing this request from so here, Vidura in the other part or in the next, he was so much eager to hear Krishna Katha. So Visvaksena Ashriyohi Aso Shraddhadanaya Bhaktaya Bruhita Janma Vistaram Rushena Trupiti Manaha Param Kautu Halam Hime Param Kautu Halam Hime. So he was I'm very much interested, enthusiastic to hear. So such a mood of Vidura. Srutasya pumsam, so next shloka. Srutasya pumsam suchirasramasya nanvanjasa suribihi idito ardha tadghunadnu shravana mukunda padaravindam hrudayeshu yesham. And so this is the mood it is set. Srutasya pumsam suchirasramasya. So here, persons who hear from the spiritual master with great labor and for a long time must hear from the mouths of pure devotees about the character and activities of pure devotees. Pure devotees always think within their hearts of the lotus feet of the personality of Godhead, who awards his devotees liberation. ये त्वदीयचरणां भुजकोशगन्धं जिघ्रन्ति कर्णविवरैः हृतवादनीतं भक्त्या गृहीतचरणः परयाच तेषं नापैशिनाद हृदयाम्बुर्हास्पु पुंसाम्. So here, whoever is always receiving Krishna Katha, so the Lord is always staying in their hearts. He never leave. So, and here he gives us, so pure devotees always think within their hearts of lotus feet of the personality of Godhead. So this is very beautifully described about the lotus feet of the Lord. Okay, so who awards his devotees liberation? Okay, so there are so much of descriptions, but time, and we shall quickly move. So later on, Sukadeva Goswami, in such a way, Vidura inquired from Maitreya Rishi. Now, after hearing Vidura's inquiry, Maitreya Rishi, what he is going to say, now Sukadeva Goswami is now commenting. श्रीसुक उवाच इति ब्रुवाणं विधुरं विनीतं सहस्रशीर्ष्णश्च चरणोपधानं प्रहृष्टरोमा भगवत्कथायां प्रणीयमानो मुनिरभ्यचष्ट. He is a Prahrishtaroma. So Maitreya Rishi, after hearing Vidura's enthusiastic inquiries, now Prahrishtaroma iti brovanam viduram vinitam sahasrashishnash charunopadhanam. Because he is asking the Krishna Katha to speak. Now, Maitreya Rishi is very pleased. So, Prahrishtaroma is, it is the hair standing in ecstasy. And for what? Bhagavad Kathayam. Praniyamano Munirabhyachasta. And now he is so much influenced by such spirit to speak. Maitreya Rishi, now he is attempted to speak. Maitreya Rishi. So Maitreya Uvacha. यदा सुभार्या सार्धं जातः स्वयंभुवो मनुः प्राञ्जलिप्रणतश्चेदं वेदगर्भम् अभाषत. Now, after Swayambhu Manu and Satirupa, they were created by Lord Brahma. Now, what he has done, Swayambhu Manu, with keeping his Pranjali, Pranatascha idam, with keeping his obeisances unto his father, Lord Brahma, and then he is speaking to Brahma. So, Yada Subhariya Sardham, along with his wife, Satirupa. Jataha Swayambho Manuhu. Pranjali Pranatashedam Veda Garbham Abhashata. Brahma is called Veda Garbham, unto the reservoir of the Vedic wisdom. Veda Garbham Abhasata. He has addressed it. And what he is addressing? त्वमेकः सर्वभूतानां जन्मकृज्यवृत्तितः पितां तथापि नः प्रजानां ते शुश्रूषा केन वा भवेत्. So here he is asking, Tvam ekah sarvabhutanam, oh my dear father Brahma, you are Tvam ekah, you are the only person for sarvabhutanam, for all the living entities. Janmakrud Vrittidaha Pita, and you have given so Vrittidaha, source of the subsistence. Janmakrut, you are the progenitor, you are the Prajapati. Janmakrut Vrittidaha Pita, you are the father. Tatapi naha, that's why for us, Prajanam te, and for all of ourselves, all of who are born from Lord Brahma, Prajanam te, Susrusha kena va bhavet, Susrusha kena va bhavet. And how can I serve you, my dear father? Likewise, Swayambhu Manu completely asking with complete surrender to execute whatever the instruction his father gives. He is going to execute that one. He is asking, Susrusha kenava bhavet. What can I do? And then why he is mentioning after that, saying, Tad videhi namastubhyam karmashidhyatma sektishu yet krute iha yesho viswag amutra cha bhaved gatihi. See, so wonderfully he is mentioning why I have to execute my duty, following the instruction of my father, saying, O worshipable one, O father, please give us your direction for the execution of duty within our working capacity, so that we can follow it for the fame in this life and progress in the next. See, yatkrita iha yasho, in this world while we are living, it followed for the fame in this life, and then amutracha bhaved gatihi, and also the progress in the next life as well. Amutracha bhaved gatihi. Amutra is in the next world. Once we leave this material world, we would be entering into the next world. What is that? It is based on our duty in this life. So here, Swayambhu Manu is also mentioning, that's why, oh Father, you give your instructions to me, I will exactly follow, so that I would attain the fame in this life and also in the next. So after he kindly submitted himself to Brahma, now what Brahma is going to say? So this is conversations between Vidura and Maitreya, and then Swayambhu Manu and Brahma, and then later on Varaha Bhagavan appears, and in between Brahma contemplates about how to lift the earth, and then Varahadeva appearance, and then prayers to Varahadeva, and conclusion prayers. So this is the 5 sections of this summary. So now we are entering into the conversations between Swayambhu Manu and Brahma. So now Brahma is speaking. What he is saying, Pritastubhyam aham tata swasti swadhyam chitishvara yad nirvyalikena hruda shadi meti atmanarpitam shadi meti atmanarpitam. So atmanarpitam, it is the completely surrendered. Whatever father says, he would be executing. Now he is not only for his personal sense gratification, he surrendered to his father. So because of Swayambhu's nature, Brahma is Pritastubhyam aham tata. So tata, my dear son, I am very pleased with you. So likewise, Swastihi tadbham chitishvara. And O Lord of the world. So he is mentioning O Lord of the world. So that means indirectly you are going to rule the world. And then nirvyalikena, without any reservation. So this is very good quality, without any reservation. Sometimes we go and then to some father, so I will do because this, and I will do but, something like that. So there is because some, and there is something reservations. But here Swayambhu Manu is saying, without yet nirvyalikena, frida, from here by the heart. Chadimeti Atmana Arpitam. So he is completely surrendered to Brahma to execute. So that's why Brahma is very pleased. My dear child, likewise, speaking to Swayambhu Manu. एतावति आत्मजैः वीर कार्या हि अपचितिः गुरौ त्यक्त्वा प्रमत्तैः गृह्येत सादरं गतमत्सरैः. So this one is very nice. So etavati atmajaihi veera. O hero, your example is quite befitting a son in relationship with his father. This is befitting as a son in relationship with his father. Karyahi apachitihi gurau. So while executing the instructions of the father. Karyahi apachitihi gurau. Sekya pramattahi gruhyeta. So one has to execute with sekya, with full capacity. Apramattaha, by the same, gruhyeta should be accepted, but you have done in such an activity. Sadharam gatamatcharaihi, sa adharam, with great delight. Gatamatcharaihi, there is no more machara, by those who are beyond the limit of enviousness. Likewise, Brahma is appreciating Swayambhu Manu. And then, what he is saying, Sattvam asyam apachani tadrushani आत्मनो गुणैः उत्पाद्य स्यात् धर्मेण गां यज्ञैः पुरुषं यजा गां यज्ञैः पुरुषं यजा सत्त्वम् अस्याम् अपत्यानि. So, my dear child, Swayambhu, I'm very pleased with your characteristics and your behavior. So, Sadrusha Atmano, Sadrusha Anya Atmano. So, here, Sadrushani, equally qualified. So, you have asked me what you wanted to do, but I'm telling you, Tvam Asyam in her, in your wife, Apatyani, children, you beget the children. Sadrushani Atmano Gunaihi. Sadrushani equally qualified as much as yourself. Atmanaha of yourself with the same characteristics, with the characteristics of yours, because you are so humble and then asking yourself, your father, what can I do? And you have surrendered without nirvilikena. So in such a way, Brahma is very pleased. So likewise, you also beget children like yourself. Utpadya syasa dharmena, utpadya syasa dharmena. Having begotten the children, syasa dharmena, you rule on the principles of devotional service, dharmena. And what you need to rule? Gam yajnehi purusham yaja, gam the world. Gam is the world. Yajnehi purusham yaja, by performing the sacrifices to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In such a way, you will attain the happiness in this life and fame, and also in the next life also. That is, Yajnehi Purusham Yaja. Yaja is the worship. Purusham is Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is Samsiddhir Haritoshanam. Everything is only for the pleasure of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So likewise, you beget children like you. So like later on, he begot children, two sons and 3 daughters. Okay, so that will be covered later on. And what else he is saying? Param susrushanam mahyam Syat praja rakshaya nrupa Bhagwan te praja bhattuhu hrishikesho anutusyati. He is mentioning. So after when you are living and ruling with the devotional service, ruling your people, your subjects, ruling the kingdom, the entire earth, at that time, param susroshanam mahyam, susroshanam, param, param is the greatest, susroshanam, devotional service, mahyam unto me, syat praja rakshaya nrupa. And if you wanted to, so this one he's mentioning, if you can give proper protection to the living beings in the material world, that will be the best service for me. When the Supreme Lord sees you to be a good protector of the conditioned souls, certainly the master of the senses will be very pleased with you. Hrishikesho anutusyati. Hrishikesha. Hrishikesha is the Lord of the senses. Anutushyati, he is satisfied. Then I will be very happy, my dear child. So in such a way, you follow my instructions. Param susroshanam mahim Asyat praja rakshaya nrupa, by protecting the people. Bhagwan stam te praja bhattuhu. Okay, in such a way, you rule the kingdom so that Lord will be very pleased. And then, yesham na tushto bhagavan, yajnalingo janardanaha, tesham sramohi apadhaya, yadatma nidritaha swayam. If you, whenever you are performing your duty, performing sacrifices, if Lord is not pleased, then that sacrifice is no use. So likewise, he is mentioning, if Lord is not satisfied, then one's labor for advancement is futile. He is the ultimate self, and therefore one who does not satisfy him certainly neglects his own interests. So this is again Brahma is saying to Swayambhu Manu. He is saying actions and also restrictions as well. So if Lord is not satisfied, then all your activities, it is a futile. श्रमयेविहि केवलम धर्मस्य ह्यापवर्गस्य नार्धाध्यायोपकल्पते धर्मस्य एकान्तस्य नार्धयोपकल्पते. So there is धर्मस्वनिषु पुंसां विश्वक्सेन कथासु यः नोत्पादयेदिति रतिं श्रमयेविहि केवलम. Even the one performs, but he is not attracted to hear Krishna Katha, Shramehi Kevalam. When does that he will get attached to hear Krishna Katha? When the Lord is showing the mercy on him, when he has got devotees association, when he has got interest. So when he has got interest, he will execute the duties very perfectly. So there is again Ado Shraddha, Tada Sadhu Sangha. So likewise, there are set of steps for that one. But here, if Lord is not pleased, all your endeavors will be in futile. So, and certainly he neglects his own interest. Yadhatma nidritaha swayam. Yadhatma nidritaha swayam. So in such a way, Brahma is giving instructions. Now he has said what to be done. Now Manu is saying to Brahma in order to carry out that instructions. Manu is saying, Manuruvacha, Adesha aham bhagavato vatteyam iva sodhanam sthanam vyuhanu jhanihi prajanam mamacha prabho. So I am bound by your instruction, my dear father. Adesha aham bhagavato vatteyam iva sodhanam. I will carry out your instructions. I shall abide by your order. And sthanam iha anujanihi prajanam mamacha prabho. And now please let me know my place and that of the living entities born of me. Where should I live? And then where should my children and their children would live? So, and then why he is mentioning? He is mentioning Yedokaha sarvabhutanam mahi magna mahambhasi asya buddharni yatno deva devya vidiyatam. So now the earth is now sunken in the Garbhodaka water. Mahi magna mahambhasi. And that is the earth is the shelter for all the living entities. Yedokaha sarvabhutanam. Now, kindly, with the help of the Lord, can you please lift that one from the Garbhodaka waters? Asya buddharni yatno deva devya vidiyatam. And so only it is possible for yourself. It can be done by your endeavor and by the mercy of the Lord. In such a way, Swayambhu Manu is mentioning to Brahma. And then further, so that is how Swayambhu Manu inquired. And then Maitreya is saying what has happened after that. So from going forward, Maitreya Rishi is going to speak until the Lord has appeared. And then later on, the great sages of Brahma's children, along with the Kumaras, they are going to glorify after Lord has lifted the earth. So here, Maitreya Rishi is speaking to again to Vidura what has happened after this. परमेष्टि त्वं मध्ये तथा सन्नाम अवेक्षकाम कथम एनाम समुन्नेश इति दद्धो दयाचिरम. Now his son has asked, Swayambhu Manu has asked, now Parameshti to apam madhye, and Brahma is in the middle of that water, Garbhodaka water. Apam madhye, he is in the lotus flower. He is now looking at all the devastating water. Tata sannam avekshagam. So now he is saying, Sannam avekshagam katam yenam samunneshya iti dadhyo dhyachiram. How to lift this earth from this water. So likewise, he has been contemplating for a long time how it could be lifted. So it is now measured in the water. And then in such a way, he was contemplating. Sujito me chidirvarbihi plavyamana rasam gata अतात्र किम अनुष्ठेयम अस्माभिः सर्गयोजितैः यस्याहं हृदयात् आसं सा येषो विदिधातु मे. So while I have been engaged in creation, so meanwhile this earth was sunken in this water and it has gone down to Rasatala. What can I do in this one? Atatra kim anusteyam. What can I do in this matter? Likewise, he has been contemplating, and then later on, to me. Only the Lord only has to show the path, the way, how to live this one. It is best to let the Almighty Lord direct us. Asamsa Yesho vidhatu me. And then when he was contemplating like that, iti abhijhaito nasu avirat sahasanagha varahato ko nirghat angushta parimanakaha. So during that time, a small Varahatoko. So it is the Varahatoko. It's the small form of Varaha. It has appeared from the Nasa Vivarat, from the nostrils. And then it has appeared. And then Niragad Angushta Parimanakaha. And it has came out, and then it was only the size of upper portion of the thumb in the measurement size. And then तस्यापि पश्चितः कस्तः क्षणेन किल भारत गजमात्रः प्रवृदे तदद्भुतम् अभून्महान्. And that while looking all the sages and children of Brahma are one, looking at that one, and that little Varaha Rupa form, it has grown very big in a Kshana Kila Bharata, in a moment of time. Gajamatraha Pravrude, it was increasing. Gajamatraha Pravrude, it is thoroughly expanded. Tad Adbhutam Abhunmahan. It is transformed in a gigantic body, extraordinarily. Tad Adbhutam, this is Adbhutam, very wonderful. So now it is now standing in the, it is situated in the sky. The board became situated in the sky in a very gigantic form. And now it has situated, now Brahman along with his children, Marichi Pramukaihi Vipraihi Kumaraihi Manunasaha, Drishtva Saukaram Rupam Tarkayamasa Chitrada. They're discussing what is this form. And contemplating, discussing what is its form. It is very wonderful. It looks like a Sukaram Rupam Tarkayamasa. Tarkayamas is argued among themselves. This could be the Sukaram. So likewise, there are different kinds of conversations. When there is a good, very wonderful things, people will discuss in vividly. So likewise, Marichi Pramukaihi Vipraihi Kumaraihi Manunasaha, they're all discussing Tarkayamasa. Very wonderful. Chitradha in various ways. Kim etat sukaravyadyam sattvam divyam avasthitam aho bata asharyamidam nasayami vinishrutam. It has come from the nose of Brahma. And then aho nasayami vinishrutam, and it is very wonderful. Now it is divyam avasthitam. It is situated in the sky very wonderfully. Kim etat sukaravyadyam. In likewise, they were discussing, they're pretending what it could be, extraordinary living entity. And then what they're pretending, pretense of the board, it is very wonderful that he has come from my nose. Brahma is saying to all his children. And then he was mentioning like Drishto Angusta Chiro Matraha Chanat Ganda Sila Samaha Apis with Bhagavan Yesha Yajno Me Kedayad Manaha. So whether it is a supreme personality of Godhead, now I'm being perturbed. Kedayan Manaha, in my mind, I'm perturbed by looking at this beautiful form. And it was very tiny one, Angusta Matraha, Angusta Chiro Matraha, tip of the thumb. And now Kshanat Ganda Silasamaha, it became very big in the sky. Is it Apis with Bhagavan Yesha? Is it the supreme personality of Godhead? Yajna. So Yajna is the Vishnu. Is that the supreme personality of Godhead? Now I'm being perturbed in the mind. Likewise, Brahma is speaking to his children. Iti mimamsataha tasya brahmanaha sahasunibihi Bhagavan Yajna Purusho Jagat Jhagendra Sannibaha. So when Brahma was dead, contemplating along with his children, mimamsataha tasya brahmanaha sahasunibihi, along with his children, Bhagwan Yajna Purusha Jagat Jagendra Sannibaha. Bhagavan is the Yajna Purusha. And then he made very great sound. Jagat Jagendra. He like a resounded. Jagat Jagendra, the supreme person. Jagat Jagatja. Gajja, and his roaring, resounding. And then it is like a Jagat Sanni. Aga Indra, great mountain, Sannibaha, it is like that. So Vishnu roared tumultuously like a great mountain. And then Brahmana, how it is like that? So it is described like that. Brahmanam harshayamasa haristamsha dvijottaman sa gajjitena kukubaha pritsvanayata vibuhu. Brahmanam harshayamasa. And then that sound, it is enlivening everyone. Especially unto Brahma. Brahmanam harshayamasa, to give pleasure to Brahma. Harihi is the supreme personality of Godhead. Tamcha Dvijottaman, and all of them also, Dvijottaman, they are highly elevated Brahmanas. And by his voice, Sa Gajjitena Kukubaha. Kukubaha is the all directions. The sound is resounding in coming from all directions. When we are going to the forest or nearby hills, and if we make very sound, big sound. We can hear the same sound again in a moments of time. So Pratiswanayeta Vibhu, and which echoed again the omnipotent Lord when he has roaring, then it was resounding everywhere from all directions. Sa garjitenu kukubaha pratiswanayeta vibhu. And in such a way, he has made that very beautiful sound. And now here, from here, this 25 shloka onwards, the beautiful beauty of the Lord, how he is been doing and his activities until he has lifted the earth on his dust and stand in the sky. It is very beautiful thing. Stand in the sky just like that after lifting this one. So these activities are being described very beautifully. There is a so much of comparing the beauty of the nature also when the Lord is lifting. निशम्यते घटिकरितं स्वकेध चैष्णु मायामय सुकरस्य जनः तपः सत्यनिवासिनस्ते त्रिभिः पौत्रैः मुनियो अगृह्णन् स्म. And निशम्यते घटिकरितं स्वकेध चैष्णु मायामय सुकरस्य. So this is मायामय सुकरस्य. Mayamaya, all merciful, Sukarasya of the Lord both. After hearing the sound of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Nishimite Gargaritam Swakeda, and what all people are doing, Janaha Tapaha Satyinivasinaste Tribihi Pavitrihi Muniyo Aguranansman, and Janaha Tapaha Satyaha Nivasaste, and people of the Janaloka, Tapoloka, Satyaloka, Nivasaste, what they are doing, Tribihi Pavitrihi Muniyo Aguranansman, they are all glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So which was, they have chanted the auspicious chants from the three Vedas. Tribihi Pavitrihi Muniyo Agurananspa. And then what else Lord is doing later? Later on, Lord is now hearing those chants, chanting of these Vedic hymns. Tesham satam ved vidanamurtihi brahmavadharya atmagunanuvadam vinadhyabhoyo vividodayaya gajendra lilo jalama vivesham. While they're chanting Tesham satam ved vidanamurtihi, and all the devotees, those brahmanas, they're all while glorifying the Lord, and brahmavadharya atmagunanuvadam, brahmanuvarya atmagunanuvadam. So they are transcendental glorifications. And then what Lord did? Vinadhya bhoyo visodayaya gajendrelo jhalama vivesham. And vinadhya bhuyaha. And he resounded again. Vibudodhayaya of the transcendently learned. Udhayaya, and for the elevation or for or benefit. So gajendrela, just like playing like an elephant. And the Lord has entered into the Garbhodaka water. He is now in the sky. He jumped into the water. Gajendra Lilo Jalama Vivesha. Now, the beauty how he is entering, it is again Bukchiptavalaha Kacharaha Katoraha Sata Vidhunvan Kararo Masatva Kurahata Brahasidan Saiksha Jyotir Bhavashe Bhagwan Mahidraham. That moment when he is jumping into the water. Bukchiptavalaha Kacharaha Katoraha. So he was slashing with the tail. His tail was there. So slashing with the tail. Where is that? I don't see that tail. So in the pictures. Okay, I think there is a tail here. Slashing with the tails. Bukchiptavalaha kacharaha katoraha. In the sky. Kacharaha katoraha, very hard. And sata vidhunvan kararoma setpak. Here, hairs on the shoulder, and within one he is quivering. Kararoma setpak. And the short and Roma Shatva, the skin full of hairs. And then Kurahata Abraha Siddhan Saiksha, struck by the hooves, and Abraha, the clouds. And now there are clouds also in the universe, and on top of the Garbhodaka ocean, Lord is now standing and situated in the sky. And Hatabraha just piercing the clouds with his hooves, and then he has got white tusk. Sitadan Saiksha, Jyotir Bhavashe, Bhagwan Mahidraha, Jyotir Bhavashe, and he is shining, luminous. Bhavase began to emit an effulgence. And Bhagavan Mahidraha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the supporter of the world. So now he is ready to jump into the water. And then for what purpose? Granena Prithvyaha Padimi Jigran Kuroda Padesha Pai Kuroda Apadesha Swaimadbhar Angaham Karaladam Sopi Akrala Drugbhyam Budbhicha Vipran Gurunato Abhishetkam Granena Prithvyaha Padivim Jigran. So this is Granena, is by smelling. This is the characteristic of the Sukara. Granena Prithvyaha Padivim Jigran. And he has accepted that Padavim, that duty, the situation, and then smelling the earth, Prithvya, Padivim Vijigran, searching after the earth, Krodapadesha Swaimadbharangaha, and assuming the body of a hog, Krodapadesha, Swaimadbharanga, and personally Adbhara is transcendental, Angaha, body, and Karaladam Stopi Akrala Drigbham Budbheksha Vipran Gurunato Abhishetkam, and his Karal Damstropi, the tusks of the Lord, they are fearful. The tusks are very fearful, but Akaral Drugyam, but his glance is very peaceful. Akaral Drugyam. And then his peaceful glances are on the Buddheksha Vipran Grunato Abhihetkam. He is looking at the Brahmanas, at the Vipran, Grunataha, who were engaged in the prayers, and looking at them and accepting the Grunataha, who were engaged in the prayers, and Abhishetkam, and he has entered into the water. So by merciful glances, he was throwing those glances on those Brahmanas who are praying to the Lord. And now it is the beauty how he is jumping into the water. Savadhrukotanga Nipatavegha Vishirnukukshi Stanuyenu Dhanvan Ustrusta Dirgormi Bhujarivartaha Chukrosha Igneshwara Pahimeti. Savadhrukotanga Nipatavegha. The Lord has with force of diving, Nipatavegha, and Savadhrukotanga, body like a great mountain, and with a great force of diving. Vishirnukuksha Stanuyenu Dhanvan, and Vishirna by splitting the water, bifurcating the water, Kukshihi in the middle portion of the water, Stanayan resounding like within the ocean. He has jumped into the water, that Garbhodaka ocean. At the time, the big splash, the splash has come. Gusrutadhir Gormi Bhujerivattaha. And how it is like that? Bhujaihi, whenever the big splash comes, water jumps like that. Likewise, a person is just lifting the hands. Vusrushta dirga urmi, lifting the two hands. Bhujaihi ivattaha. Bhujai ivattaha. Just like a distressed person asking for help, help. How it is like Chukrosha. Chukrosha is crying for prayed loudly. Yagneshwara, Pahimeti, Pahimeti. Likewise, the ocean is lifting hands and then calling for the Lord. Pahimeti, please protect unto me. Likewise, comparing so beautifully this Chukrosha Yagneshwara Pahimeti. And then further, so Maitreya is describing very beautiful here. And then further, how he is doing after that, now he has jumped into the water, Garbhodaka water. Kuraihi Churupraihi Daryam Tatapa Vutparaparam Tripururasayam. And now, after he has entered into the water, so by piercing with his hooves the water, and then it is compared to a sharp weapon. Churupraihi compared to sharp weapon. Dharyan Tadapa, penetrating and into the water, Garbhodaka water, and Utparaparam Tripuru Rasayam, and he went until the Rasayam within the water, and Rasayam, and found the limitations of the unlimited, Triparuhu, the master of all sacrifices, Tripuru Rasayam. Now, once he went deep into the water, Dadarshagam Tatra Susupturagre, and he has seen Dadarshagam Tatra, he has seen the earth, Susupturagre, and lying in that Garbhodaka waters. Susupturagre, and then Yam Jivadarim Swaimabhyadatta, and that earth which is the resting place for all the living entities. Now, Swaim Abhyadatta, he has personally uplifted this earth. The Lord has personally uplifted. And then how it is, when he was lifting that one, there is a demon called Hiranyaksha. He came for the fight, and then Lord has killed him. स्वदं श्रुवुद्धृत्य महीर्निमग्नां समुचितः संरुचे रसायाः तत्रापि दैत्यं गदया पतन्तं सुनाभसन्दीपिततीव्रमन्युः. And Swadam Sroya Uddhritya Mahirnimughnam, the Lord has lifted the earth on his tusks. Uddhritya Mahirnimagnam. Now this earth is situated on the tusks. Sabutitaha Samruche Rasayaha. Sabutitaha Samruche Rasayaha. Utitaha is getting up, and Samruchi appeared very splendid when he was lifting from the water. Rasayaha. And at the time, Tatrapi Daityam Gadaya Patantam. A Daityam has come, a Daitya personality has come. Gadayapadam, taking his Gada with a club. And then what Lord did? Sunapasandipita Tivra Manyuhu. And this is Gadayapatantam. He wanted a fight. But Sunapasandipita Tivra Manyuhu. What Lord has it? Lord has killed him, killed that Hiranyakadima, although he tried to fight with the Lord. And then how that situation is, the fighting is happening. Jaganarundana Masasya Vikramam Salila Ebham Brugadaarivam Bhasi Tadhrakta Pankankita Gandatundo Yata Gajendro Jagatim Vibindhan. It is very beautifully described. Like thereupon Lord Bor killed the demon within the water, just as a lion kills an elephant. The cheeks and tongue of the Lord became smeared with the blood of the demon, just as an elephant becomes reddish from the digging in the purpular. So there are different kinds of earths as well. So there is a reddish earth that soil is used to decorate even our homes as well. There was no kind of red oxide chemicals like that. So we used to have this red soil. So that soil is like it is appearing when the elephant goes to that red soil and then just digging, the white tusks become red. In such a way, when the Lord has killed this Hiranyaksha, his tusks are with appearing like that, smeared by the I think it looks like a blood. So this is the Tadrakta Pankankita Gandatundo. Rakta Tadrakta of his blood smeared by the pool. Gandatundo Yata Gajendro Jagatim Vibhindan, just like the elephant. Yata reddish from the digging in the purpular. And now how Lord is situated, now the Lord has lifted and his tusks are in the reddish color. He is still situated in the sky. And how he is appearing? Tamal Neelam Sidancha Kocha Chamutchipantam Gajrilayanga Pradhnaya Badhanjul Yonuvakaihi Virinchi Mukyaha Upadasturisham. So now coming to the situation, the Lord has peacefully lifted the earth in such a way situated now. And in that particular position, all the Brahma and all his children, they all started glorifying the Lord by offering their obeisances. Pradhnaya Baddhanjal Yonuvakaihi Virinchi Mukyaha Upatesturisham. Starting from Brahma, they're all offering their prayers to the Varaha Bhagavan. And here in this context, so Jaidev Goswami, Vasiti Dasana Sikare Dharani Tavalagna, Sesini Kalanka Kalena Nimagna, Keshava Dhruta Sukara Rupa, Jai Jagadisha Hare. Prabhupada is bringing that small glorification of Varahadeva from the Dashavatar Stotra. So now here Brahma along with all the Brahmanas and sages, so they are glorifying the Lord, the form of the Varahadev. Jitam jitam pi ajita yajna bhavana trayim tanum tvam parudhanvate namah yadhromagatte sunilulyuradhayaha tasmai namaha karana sukarayate. So this is very beautiful prayers are there. Jitam jitam pi ajita yajna bhavana. Yajna bhavana is he is the only understood by the sacrifices. Jitam jitam te ajita yajna bhavana. Trayim tanum tvam parudhanvate namah. Okay, just going with all glories, O conquerable injurer of all sacrifices, all glories and all victories unto you. You are moving in your form of the personified Vedas, and in the hair holes of your body, the oceans are submerged. For certain reasons, you have now assumed the form of a boar. In such a way, Tasmai Namaha Karana Sokarayate. And then what is that form? They are glorifying the Brahma and all the sages. Rupam tavaitannunu duskrutatmanam durdarshanam deva yaddadvaratmakam chandamsi yasya tvachi barhi romasu ajyam drushi tvangrishu chaturhotram. Comparing the Lord's body with different kinds of the sacrificial items. Rupam tavaitanunu duskrutatmanam durdarshanam deva yaddadvaratmakam. It cannot be understood by the ordinary people. Durdarshanam, yad adbharatmakam. It is understood only by worshipable by the sacrifices. Adbharatmakam, worshipable by performances of sacrifice. Chandamsi yasya tvachi. Chandamsi, the Gayatri mantra and the others, they are like the skin of your body. Tvachi, barhi romasu, all the kusha, sacred grass, that is like a romasu, the hair on your body. Ajyam tushi, your eyes, like the it is ajyam. The ajyam is the clarified butter is your eyes. And then tvangrishu chaturhotram, your four legs are like a chaturhotram. The four kinds of the fruitive activities, dharma, artha, kama, mokshas. So likewise, they are glorifying. And then further, different parts used in the sacrifices, they are all being mentioned. Sraktundasisro Ishana Sayoho Idodare Chamasa Karnarandre Prasitramase Grasane Grahastute Yacharavante Bhagonagnihotram. So different kinds of parts used in the fire sacrifice and the flames of the sacrifice comparing with the lords. Sraktunda, Asit, Sruva, Ishana, Shrukku. So there are some kind of parts used in the sacrifices. We might be using one spatula using to take the ghee and then putting there, and then one is to hold the ghee. So the Irodare, Chamasaha, Karnarandre, they're comparing with the Lord's ears, eyes, and then no nostrils, the mouth, and all these different holes of the body. Prastitya mate grasane grahastute, yaccharavnante bhagun agnihotram. So they are comparing this, and your tongue is the plate of the sacrifice. And so the yaccharavnante bhagun agnihotram. Your chew is known as the agnihotra. And your throat is the plate of the sacrifice known as soma. So comparing with the different elements of the sacrifice. So in other way, Varaha Bhagavan body is the Yajna Rupa, Yajna Varaha. And it is Dikshanu Janmopasadaha Sirodharam Tvam Prayaniya Udhiniya Damstaha Jihva Prabhugyaha Tavashishkam Kritoho Satyava Satyaha Satyava Satyam Chitayaha Asavohite. This is Janma Upasadaha. Upasadaha is the Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojana. Upasadaha, the three kinds of the desires, relationship, activities, and ultimate goal. And these are all appearing from the Lord's body itself. So here, O Lord, the repetition of your appearance is the desire for all kinds of initiation. Your neck is the place for three desires, and your tusks are the result of initiation and the end of the all desires. Your tongue is the prayer activities of initiation. Your head is the fire without sacrifice, as well as the fire of worship, and your living forces are the aggregate of all desires. Chitayaha asavohite, aggregate of all desires. So this is, they are glorifying the Lord like that. Dikshanu janmopasadaha sirodharam tvam prayani udhanidamstaha jihva pravrikyaha tava sheshkam kratoho satyavahatyam chatiyaha asavohite. And then comparing again the somastu. So there are different kinds of Lord semen. Retaha. It is comparing the somastu retaha savananyavasitihi samsta vibheda tavadeva dhatavaham satrani sarvani sarira sandhihi tvam sarvajna kruturishti bandhanaha. And Lord can be just only bandhanaha. How he is now attachment, bandhanaha. How he will be captured by the sacrifices. And then Satrani Sarvani Sarira Sandhihi. and everything like a Lord's body, comparing Satrani Sarvani Sarira Sandhi, different joints, comparing to the. Your semen is the sacrifice called Somegnu. Your growth is the ritualistic performances of the morning. Your skin and touch sensations are the 7 elements of Agnistoma sacrifice. Your bodily joints are symbols of various other sacrifices performed in 12 days. 12 days. And therefore, you are the object of all sacrifices called Soma and Asoma. And you are bound by yajnas only. Trituristi bandhanaha. The Lord is bound by the yajnas. So that's why one has to perform the sacrifices. As soon as he takes the birth, there are Panch Mahayajnas. So one has to worship the Deva, Rushi, Bhota, Apta, Pitru. Likewise, there are 5 people, 5 different kinds of living entities one has to worship as soon as he takes birth as a human. Panch Mahayajnas. So here, the Lord is, you're the object of all sacrifices called the Soma and Asoma, and you are bound by the Yajnas only. So they're glorifying like that. And then finally coming to Namo Namaste Akila Mantra Devata Dravyaya Sarvakratave Kriyatmane Vairagya Bhaktatma Jyanubhavita Jnanaya Vidya Gurve Namo Namaha. Namo Namaste Akila Mantra Devata. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is Akila Mantra Devata. And Dravyaya Sarvakratave Kriyatmane. And everything is only for the Lord. And Lord is worshipped by all kinds of paraphernalia. And worshipable by universal prayers, Vedic hymns, and sacrificial ingredients. We offer our obeisances unto you. Namo Namaste. And you can be realized by pure mind, freed from all visible and invisible material contamination. If one has got material attachments, he cannot understand the Lord. If he is free from all kinds of material entanglement, then he can he can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vairagya Bhaktyatma Dhyanubhavita. Such kind of devotees only conquer the Lord. This is again, there are something in the Brahma Samhita, Veryeshu Adurlabham, Durlabham Atma Bhaktav. This is the devotees, because they are detached from the materialistic taste or sense gratification. Vairagya Bhaktyatma Jnanubhavita Jnanaya Vidya Gurve Namo Namaha. And the Lord is the Vande Krishna Vande Jagadgurum Vidya Gurve Namo Namaha Jnanaya. So he gives, we offer our respectful obeisances to you as the supreme spiritual master of the knowledge in devotional service. See, so beautiful verses to remember, and we can do this prayers as well. Damsta Bhakotya Bhagum Swaya Druta Virajate Bhodara Bhoho Sabhodharam Yatavananihi Sarito Data Druta Matam Gajendra Sapatra Padmini. Matam Gajendra Sapatra Padmini. So beautifully. So whenever how Lord is lifting the earth on his tusks, they're comparing when the elephant jumps into the water pool and then lifts a small lotus flower and with its trunk, then it is appearing that Lord has lifted the earth. Damstabra Kotya Bhagam Swayadhuta Virajate Bhodara Bhoho Sabhodara. So beautiful in the rhythmic way as well. So on his tusks, the earth is now kept. And how it is comparing, Yatavananihi Sarato Datadruta Matam Gachendrasya Sapatra Padmini. Like elephant jump into the water and take a lotus flower with its trunk. Likewise, the Lord has jumped into the Garbhodaka ocean and lifted that earth. And then another comparison is coming. Trayimayam Rupamidam Chasaukaram Bhumandalena Datadrutena Te Chakasi Surungoda Ghanena Bhuisa Kulachalendrisi Yataiva Vibramaha. It is a decoration to the Lord. How it is looking like that? And also while describing Trimayam Rupam Idam Chasaukaram, it is the form Vedas personified. Your form is Vedas personified. Trimayam Rupam Idam Chasaukaram Bhumandalena Datadrutena Te. Oh Lord, you are the personified Vedas. Do you know how you have lifted this earth? Bhumandale, Ata Dhata Dutenate, how it is looking like? Chakasi Srungoda Ghanena Bhoisa. Chakasi Srungoda. Chakasi Srungoda is blowing. Srunga Udha is sustained by the peaks of the mountain. Ghanena by the clouds. Bhoisa more glorified. Kulachala Indrasya of the great mountains. Yatha as much as. Yata eva vibramaha. In such a way, eva certainly vibramaha. It is decorated. So it is comparing when the Lord is lifting, it is the mountains where the beautiful clouds are there. We would see after the rains fall down. So some clouds are still on the big mountains. Likewise, the Lord is like a situated himself, a big gigantic Varaharupa lifting this earth. In such a way, it is comparison is there. So, Lord, as the peaks of the great mountains become beautiful when decorated with the clouds, your transcendental body has become beautiful because of your lifting that on the edge of your tusks. So beautiful. Look at that. This Lord is lifting this earth. But his form is, so earth is very gigantic, but we can't even imagine that one. But we can imagine how big the Lord's form is. He's lifting like a small, they are applying very decorative way. They're comparing like the lotus flower and also clouds and the mountain. And then okay, I think time is running out, but I just will finish up. We'll take few more minutes. Samsapayenam jagatam satustasam lokaya patnimasi mataram pita virema chasenam sa sahatvaya yasyam swatajigni mivaranavadaham. And my dear Lord, you have lifted this earth. Samstapayenam jagatam satustasam lokaya patnimasi mataram pita. You have lifted this earth. So you are our father and mother earth. Earth is like your wife and our mother. You are father and mother to us. Videma chasi namasa sahatvaya. We both wanted to worship you. We both wanted to worship you. So when the Lord lifts, there is again Varaha and Varahi. This is there. There is a very beautiful Lord and his concept. Mother Earth is Varahi. We offer our respectful obeisances unto you, along with Mother Earth, in whom you have invested your own potency, just as an expert sacrifice puts fire in the arani, the wood. Puts fire in the arani wood. So this is likewise, Videma chasi namasa sahatvaya yasyam tvachogni nivaranavadaha. If you are going and visiting the Varaha temple, there we must see the goddess Arsha as well. In such a way, we offer our obeisances to both the Varaha Deva and also Mother Earth. Varaha and Varahi. Likewise here, Brahma along with all the sages, all his children, they are glorifying the Lord and offering their obeisances. Kashradharita Anyatamah Tava Prabho Rasam Gataya Bhuvidhibarhanam Savismayosau Tvai Vismaye Yo Mayedam Sasuje Ati Vismayam. Oh my dear, you have lifted this earth from the Rasam Gataya. It has went to the Rasatala. You have lifted this one. Kashradharita Anyatamah Tava Prabho. And Shraddha Dita is the endeavor. Kaha is that who else can perform such a great activity? Anyatamaha, anyone beside yourself, apart from you. Tav Prabho, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, my dear Lord. Rasam Gataya, while this was going into the deep into the water. Bhuvahadat. Buddhi Barhanam, who could deliver this earth for us? Savismayoso Tvi Vismasve Yo Mahidam Sasruja Ativismayam. Again, very beautiful thing. And it is not a very wonderful act for us because you create and maintain and destroy these universal activities, but lifting this is not a grateful, but it is very wonderful. It is wonderful activity, but so likewise they are glorifying. Who else but you, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, could deliver that from within the water? It is not very wonderful for you. However, because you acted most wonderfully in the creation of the universe, by your energy, you have created this wonderful cosmic manifestation. See how they are glorifying the Lord. Going intricacies in the glorifications, it is so realizing the that taste. Okay, comparing and seeing the Lord through the sound vibrations. Vitunvata Vedamayam Nijamvapuhu Janaha Tapaha Satyinivasino Vayam Satasikodhuta Sivambu Bhindubihi Vimrujhamana Brushamisha Pavitaham. when the Lord has jumped into the water and his body has got all this the water, and his lililuradhayaha, those bodily hair folds, the water is still there. They're like a big oceans. Then when he was satavi sikodhuta sivambu bindubihi, then Satasikodik Sivamu Bindabihi, that water is spilling on top of all this Janaha Tapaha Satchinevasinovaim, on all of these great sages. And they are saying that we are all, even though we are purified personalities, now we became more purified by just sprinkling that water on top of us. They have fall. In such a way, Vimrjamana Bhushamisha Pavitaha, they are purified, O Lord. So likewise, we have been purified by the drops of water sprinkled from your shoulder hairs by the shaking of your body. Likewise, they are praying to the Lord. And then finally, in their prayers, they are saying, "Oh, my dear Lord, you bless all of us. We have come here into this material world with no intelligence. We are uh, in the darkness." So likewise, they are asking for the blessings and mercy. सवैभत भ्रष्टमतिः तवैषते यः कर्मणां पारम् अपारकर्मणः यज्जोगमाय गुणयोगमोहितं विश्वं समस्तं भगवन्विदेहिशं विश्वं समस्तं भगवन्विदेहिशं. And here Savaibhata Brashtamatihi Tavaishate. And the people who are in this material world, there are Brashtamatihi. Anyone who Brashtamatihi means they have their Mati is the mind. Brasta is means they do all nonsensical things, nonsensical thoughts and thinking and activities. So they cannot understand. Yah karmanam param apara karmanaha. All your activities are innumerable. Apara karmanaha. And yah karmanam param. And so there is no limit to your wonderful activities. Anyone who desires to know the limit of your activity is certainly nonsensical. So sometimes we imagine that, oh, this could be this one. It is a Dr. Frog. It is whether I'm in the 3 feet of pond, and then when I compare it, is it 4 feet? Big means it's 5 feet. Likewise, Prabhupada differently compares, explaining with the Dr. Frog philosophy. So here they are mentioning criticizing these frogs. Some people they will imagine, try to limit, but Lord's activities are apara karmanaha. And because yed yogamaya guna yoga mohitam vishwam samastam bhagavan videhisham, and he is covered. So here, everyone in this world is conditioned by the powerful mystic potencies. Please bestow your causeless mercy upon these conditioned souls. See how after praying at the end, what they're desiring from the Lord? So mercy on these conditioned souls. So in such a way, Maitreya is beautifully describing to Vidura. And then further, so this is, when the sages are glorifying, Maitreya, she is relating that story to Vidura. Now Maitreya is now concluding after iti upastayamanasu munibihi brahmavadibihi sarve sukrakranta upadita vitavani. And then after the Lord being thus worshipped by all the great sages and transcendentalists, he touched the earth with Swakurakranta. He touched the earth with his hooves. He touched the earth with hooves and placed it on the water. This is generally we think how Lord would have placed. Now here is the technique. Lord has touched the earth with his hooves and placed it on the water. And again, he has injected his potency there. How he has injected. Saitam Bhagavan Murivim Visuksenaha Prajapatihi Rasaya Lelaya Unnitam Apsunyasya Yeyo Harihi. And he has injected his potency into that water to float, injected his energy into the earth so that it will float on the water. So in this manner, the personality of Godhead Lord Vishnu, the maintainer of all living entities, raised the earth from within the water, and having placed it afloat on the water, he returned to his abode. And so that avatara pastime has completed now. Yayu Harihi, the Lord has went back to his own abode. So again, there is further beauties. It will be continued in the further chapters. After some more few chapters, it will be continued. Okay, that will be, and Jagamulokun from Akanditotsavam, Samiditaha Pushkara Vistaradibihi. When the Lord is going back to his abode, everyone prays Jagama Lokam Swam Akanditotsavam. Because why he is going back? There is all the time there are festivals are going on. Akanditotsavam. And then now Maitreyi is concluding those last three verses. Yevam harimedaso harehe katam subhadram kataniyamainaham shrunvita bhaktya shraveta voshirim janadhnu asyasu pridi prasidati. So whoever is listening this kataniya mainaha, katam subhadram kataniya mainaha, yevam harimedaso harehe harimedasaha, who destroys the material existence of the devotee. So, and whenever there is a Varaha Bhagavan Katha is happening, that is Katam Subhadram. It is narration Subhadram, auspicious, Kataniya, Vatti to narrate Mayinaha of the merciful by his internal potency. Mayinaha. Lord performs by his internal potency, all the pastimes. And then such kind of activities, whoever is discussing and whoever is hearing, Srinvita Bhaktya Shraveta Voshitam. Whoever is hearing, that devotees, Shravayeta, whoever is speaking, Voshit Janardano Asyasu Prudi Prasidati. And the Lord will be very pleased with both of them, hearers and speakers. See, the Lord is glorifying all of our Sangha devotees as well here. And he is pleased with the devotees. Janardano Asyasu Prudi Prasidati. He is greatly delighted within the heart. If one hears and describes in devotional service attitude this auspicious narration of Lord Bhor, which is worthy of description, the Lord who is within the heart of everyone is very pleased. Very nice. And then further, His Maitreya, she is saying that for a devotee, there is nothing which is impossible to achieve. Which is impossible. Nothing is impossible for him to achieve. So likewise, Maitreya, she is saying, तस्मिन् प्रसन्ने सकलाहिषां प्रभौ किं दुर्लभं ताभिहलं लवात्मभिः अनन्य दृष्ट्वा भजितं गुहाशयः स्वयं विधत्ते स्वगतिं परः पराम्. So here he will nothing remains unachieved when the Supreme Personality of Godhead is pleased with someone. By transcendental achievement, one understands everything else to be insignificant. One who engages in transcendental loving service is elevated to the highest perfection stage by the Lord himself, who is seated in everyone's heart. So that means for a person who is completely situated, there is nothing impossible for him. And so he is elevated to the highest perfectional stage by the Lord himself. She very beautiful. Deho vidhevashika kalukarmayavat swarambakam pratisabhikshata eva sasuhu. So he will completely under the divine supervision. And then finally, Maitri, she is concluding that ko nama loke purushadhasarvit purakatanam bhagavad kata sudam apiye kannanjali bihi avapaham aho virjeta vina naretaram. See, this is again who, other than one who is not a human being, can exist in this world and not be interested in the ultimate goal of life, who can refuse the nectar of narrations about the personality of Godhead's activities, which by itself can deliver one from all material pangs. See, this is Purushartha Sarvit, one who wanted to achieve Purushartha Dharma Dhaka Mokshas. They simply need to hear this one. Purakatanam Bhagavad Katha Sudam. All the pastimes of the Lord, Bhagavad Katha Sudam. The nectar of narrations about the personality of Godhead. This is, and then Aho Virajeta Vina Narrator. If he is not a human being, he is not interested to hear. So in such a way, Maitreya is concluding this 13th chapter. So how Lord has appeared and the Brahma along with the sages, they have glorified the Lord, and now Maitreya is concluding these pastimes. With this one, chapter 13 is concluded. So this is the chapter summary of appearance of Varaha Bhagavan. Okay, I stop here. There is so much to discuss also, but I request dear devotees, already few minutes passed. If you have got any questions or you wanted to share anything, kindly share.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for the wonderful, wonderful summary. Wow. You explained everything so nicely. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, any questions or comments or anything, corrections?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, to can explain how blessings as a good Srila Prabhupada. There is no correction for you, Prabhuji. It's just like, it feels like I can keep listening to your reading the Sanskrit verses and explaining. It's so beautiful. Thank you so much, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Salmesi of Srila Prabhupada and devotees and Varaha Bhagavan and Shri Radha Gokulananda. Yes, Mataji.
Thank you, Amogha Prabhu, for a wonderful class, wonderful narrations. Listen, I missed it a lot. I missed a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji. So these are the one thing is the pastimes glorification. Just we can remember all those things. If you remember, you would relish. Wherever you go and see the mountains and the clouds, you would immediately understand Varaha Bhagavan. You remember the Bhagavan like that. As soon as
How wonderful Krishna is. So, I mean, he can be anything to do something, but he could have been without him, but just to make it more interesting, he sort of make himself into different forms, like here is in a Baraha to kill Hiranyaksha. It's wonderful, wonderful, and it's so wonderful pastime.
yes, and also there in the later chapters, whoever hears the fighting between Hiranyakshipu and Varaha Bhagavan, even they will be freed from the Brahmhatya, that kind of sinful activities as well. That is also coming in the later. Namo Namaste. That is, okay, it will take more time to describe. Yes, Mataji.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. Okay, if there are no comments or no questions, no sharings, then we shall conclude our session. You're all happy. Okay. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha
कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंतकोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna,
everyone.
Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for the wonderful class. Hare Krishna.